2008 was a stacked year for fighting games, with critical releases such as BlazBlue Calamity Trigger, Guilty Gear XX Attack Plus, Mortal Kombat vs. DCU, Soul Calibur 4, Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. Hell, this game sequel was out, and of course, biggest of all being Street Fighter 4, freeing everyone from the so-called dark age that fighting games were supposed to be going through at that time. But what do all these games have in common? They cost money, and some were out on the newest consoles at the time, the PS3 and Xbox 360, so you had to make do with what you had, and for us, that was a hacked PS2, 2 controllers, and a Japanese copy of today's game. This is Team Crossbody, and this is Arcana Hearts Runback. The Arcana Hearts series is made by Yuki Enterprise, a company that was founded in 2000 and was comprised of former SNK and Samsho staff, with their first game as a newly formed group being probably the best entry of the Samurai Shodown series to date, Samurai Shodown 5 and 5 Special. In 2006, Yuki rebranded into Exumu Incorporated, where they made the Arcana Heart series with a sequel, Arcana Heart 2, being the first game to be published and developed under Exumu completely, with Arcana Heart 1 being made by members of Yuki Enterprise, although Exumu did handle the full console developments. At the end of February 2020, Exumu ended their business operations and any ongoing projects have been migrated to their rebranded successor, Team Arcana, where they continue to update Arcana Heart 3 while managing other projects to this day. So I guess we'll wait for the next rebranding. Now with that little bit of history summed up, we can get into the game proper with the The main story is simple. The villain does something bad and the good guys have to stop them. Mildred, the villain in question, was to make a new and better world by combining the two dimensions, the normal and elemental. But who's gonna stop her? The police? The military? No. The world's fate is in the hands of the Maidens, a group of schoolgirls who wield the power of the arcane, obviously. The mole itself takes place over 8 days on a world map. Between days 1, 2, 4, and 5, it's the player's choice on who you'll fight. Once selected, there will be a small exchange between opponents before the match starts. Don't go looking for any deeper reasons. Most pre-fight dialogue is disturbingly non-threatening.
Okay, Debbie, forget about Hesh.
Okay.
I've got something for you.
What is it?
A book.
What's the book?
A modest proposal.
By whom?
Jonathan Swift.
And what is the book about?
During the 3rd and 6th day, you'll have to find a rival character, which tends to have more involved dialogue, but is still on the non-threatening side. With 2 days remaining, a floating palace will appear from the sky. Once selected, you have to deal with Fiona before confronting Mildred herself. The final fight is set above Tokyo, where Mildred will transform into a cocoon thing that you have to take down. Winning this will prevent Mildred's Archangel form from having a maxed out special meter, which makes this tough boss fight a bit easier, as she uses all of her Arcana special attacks along with the supers, which require no meter. However, she can spend her meter on a screen freezing super attack of her own that deals a good chunk of damage. A good tactic is spamming lows, since her attacks are mostly highs or have good deal startup. After beating Mildred, the castle will disappear, and a selected character will resolve their issues. You'll be rewarded with a special piece of artwork with a staff roll in the story mode. So 2000s fighting game standard.
While the soundtrack is certainly no Guilty Gear, it does its job well, and in our humble opinion has some certified bangers. The music has this mystical feeling to it that really fits the vibe the game is going for. It sounds mystical and feminine, which makes sense given the large amount of estrogen in the cast. Each song will have a focus on a particular instrument, with tracks featuring the piano being a standout for us. It feels like something is always happening and or escalating, which is perfectly fine for fighting game music. The themes being catchy also helps. While not everyone's cup of tea, I wouldn't call any of the music here bad. Here's a couple of snippets of the OST so you can hear it for yourself.
The game is a sprite-based fighter, which was more frequent when this game was released. The character sprites are very detailed, full of expression, and animate decently, though they can be a tad stiff at times. As for the character designs, they aren't world shaking, but you'll definitely remember the ones you'll like, from Lilika's rollerblades, Kara's slime thing, Konoha's Shredder scarf, all the way down to Heart's ribbon. I believe there's something for everyone. The game's art style is moe, which puts more of a focus on rounded shapes and big eyes with small noses that allow maximum expression for mouths. Emphasis on cuteness rather coolness. It's certainly not the hypest art style for a fighting game. With hover design choices, I can see how some can be bothered by them, but as long as you don't take it too seriously, it's inoffensive. Just make sure your dad doesn't walk into the room while you're playing.
Are you winning, son? Politics instead of gameplay! Ruin return characters! We ruin our music! Oh yeah!
Backdrops are simple, but feature a good amount of detail, except for that stage. The one in the middle, yeah, that one. They all have alternate features during Arcana Blaze. I'm assuming they depict different areas of Tokyo, but I haven't been so I wouldn't know. The backgrounds fit the character prepared with. Heart is the school, Saki is the rooftop since she's cool, Lilika is the radar tower since she can fly, Mei Fang is the shiny stage because she has a hyphen in her name, and Mari is that empty ass stage from before. Okay, it's a shrine.
What we have on this front is standard. Your Magic Series, Air Dashing, and Super Meter are all present. But don't get it twisted. This game does bring things to the table. Like homing dashing. Clashing. Homing cancel. Back guard cancel. Forward guard cancel. Similar to Guilty Gear's Burst, Arcana Force activates passive abilities and restores any missing homing gauge at the cost of turning your remaining super meter into a timer. While the clock is ticking, you're able to use a unique super attack called Arcana Blaze for massive damage, although most aren't dependable. That timer is better used for maintaining those special passives. The Lightning Arcana gains access to semi-tracking projectiles, though clashing is more important. You can clash by dashing or charging C's. Input another command while clashing, and you'll get a counterattack. The Love Arcana focuses around the use of projectiles in the form of slow-moving love-packed balls or fast thirst beams, while stopping and returning ones coming your way, with the added ability of being able to slow down your jumping arc after a double jump. Basic zoom move. They clearly love zooming. The Wind Arcana specializes on movement and speed. The additional air dash and jump allow for far more mobility than other Arcanas. It also has a push block and a quick drop, as well as sonic booms that chase you like hurricanes, and a tornado hold that launches if the opponent steps in it. The Fire Arcana increases your killing power, but that's not all. Your chargeable C attacks become unblockables. You gain the use of angled fireballs that you can use in combos, as well as a chargeable flamethrower. The Flamethrower Super does a ton of damage on top of the crap ton of damage you'll be already doing, and with a fast, short-range burst super is one of the safest, most well-balanced Arcana picks in the game. Here's another mechanic that we want to put a bit more of a focus on, the recovery system or teching, which works quite differently in this game. When you press the D button while being smashed towards the ground or the wall, you can use a bar of homing gauge to regain control, allowing your character to snap back into action. The benefits to this being able to disrupt mistimed combos or to prevent follower pressure or Oki. This adds a great deal of decision making because not only does homing gauge allow you to recover from bad situations, as well as being your answer to escape pressure through the use of forward and back guard cancels, but it's also your main source of damage with the use of homing cancel. Do you explode and risk it all in a powerful combo? Or do you stop the opponent's momentum for far less damage in return? Poor management of the homing gauge can really cripple a player. This way of handling the recovery system is a really smart design.
Just in case it isn't obvious, Arcana Heart has a full female roster of characters that's a play on different anime tropes. Different styles of characters can be found here, from well-rounders, rekkas, grapplers, even a puppet fighter, so finding a character shouldn't be an issue. Adding to the diversity are Arcanas that give the girls tools they might not have normally. A good idea could be giving the slow grappler Kara a way to shoot and defend against projectiles with love. Maybe get around the screen faster with Wind, or the Fire Arcana. You could give a puppet character like Lysolette a powerful command grab with the ability to tank hits with the Water Arcana, or maybe armored dashes with Earth, or just give her fire. A zoner like Maori can really benefit from the Poison Arcana. It can give her dot damage traps, fast teleports, the ability to create holes that trap opponents, making her far harder to hit, and give people a real reason to cry about zoners. Or you can give her fire. No, seriously, the Fire Arcana seems like the best one in terms of balance. But I want to be a Metatard. I got you. Poison, Time, and Darkness are the most broken Arcanas in the game. Poison allows you powerful loops. Time can be used for infinites, and Darkness has some of the best Uki setups in the game. These three Arcanas, in combination with any of the girls, will probably make them strong. Except for Fiona. Okay, maybe with the Time Arcana. We here at Team Crossbody have a deep love for this game. It's one of the first games we actually started to play competitively and was our first introduction to anime fighters. When our friend brought this to us way back when, he consistently beat our asses till we learned how it worked. Yup, there were no shortcuts back then, and that was okay because Arcana Heart was a fun game to play. With its focus on variety, replayability, aerial combat, and simple controls paired with strong core mechanics, we had a surprisingly smooth time relearning this game for the video. Our muscle memory may be with later games in the franchise, but our hearts will always belong to this one.